The gift of impermanence. Why change is your only friend? Think of the most beautiful sunset you have ever seen. The sky was a bruised purple, a burning orange, and a soft fading gold. Now, imagine if that sunset never ended. Imagine if the sun stayed frozen at the horizon, the colors never shifting, the light never dimming. At first it would be magnificent, but soon the flowers would wither under the constant heat. The birds would forget when to sleep. The world would become a static, breathless museum. The beauty of the sunset lies in the very fact that it is disappearing. It is beautiful because it is transient. We spend our lives fighting this truth. We want our joys to be permanent, our youth to be eternal, and our relationships to never change. We view impermanence as a thief, a dark force that comes in the night to steal what we love. But what if impermanence is not a thief, but a gardener? What if the ending of things is the only reason new things can ever begin? Consider the story of Maya. Maya was a woman who lived in fear of the after. She had a perfect garden, a perfect career, and a perfect home. But she lived in a state of constant, low-grade fever, the fever of anxiety. Every time a leaf turned brown, she felt a pang of grief. Every time a project ended, she felt a sense of loss. She was like a person trying to hold a handful of water by squeezing her fist tighter and tighter. The harder she gripped, the faster the water leaked away. She was exhausted by her own stagnation, terrified that any change would be a descent into chaos. One winter, Maya visited an old master weaver who lived in a village famous for its intricate tapestries. She found the weaver sitting at a large wooden loom, her hands moving like birds through the threads. But as Maya watched, she was horrified. The weaver was pulling apart a section of a beautiful, half-finished rug. "Master," Maya cried, "why are you destroying your work? It was perfect." The weaver stopped and looked at Maya with eyes that seemed to have seen 1,000 seasons. "I am not destroying it, child," she said softly. "I am unraveling it so that it can become something else. The thread is the same, but the pattern must change. If I kept this rug exactly as it is, I would never have the yarn to create the masterpiece that is coming next. To keep the pattern static is to kill the spirit of the weaver." Maya sat by the loom for many days. She realized that she had treated her life like a finished painting, rather than a living tapestry. She saw that her anxiety was a result of her refusal to participate in the metamorphosis of her own existence. She was trying to be an anchor in a river that was meant to flow. This is the core of the Zen concept of anicca, or impermanence. It is the realization that nothing in the universe is fixed. Everything, from the stars in the galaxy to the cells in your body, is in a state of constant evolution. When we resist this, we suffer. When we embrace it, we find a radical kind of freedom. Think about your deepest pain. If life were permanent, that pain would never end. If the winter of your soul was eternal, you would never see the spring. Impermanence is the only reason healing is possible. It is the guarantee that no matter how dark the night, the dawn is inevitable. Change is not your enemy. It is the vehicle of your transformation. It is the only thing that allows you to outgrow your old skin and become the person you were meant to be. The Stoics practiced a technique called premeditatio malorum, the premeditation of evils. They would imagine the loss of their possessions, their status, and even their loved ones. This sounds morbid, but the goal was actually the opposite of despair. By acknowledging the fragility of life, they found a searing intensity in the present moment. If you know the flower will wilt tomorrow, you appreciate its scent more deeply today. Impermanence is the spice that gives life its flavor. It turns a mundane moment into a sacred one. To find peace with change, you must change your internal vocabulary. Stop seeing an ending as a loss. Start seeing it as clearing the ground. When a season of your life comes to a close, a job, a relationship, or a version of yourself, do not mourn the empty space. That space is the gift of impermanence. It is the fertile soil where the next version of your joy will grow. You are not a statue, you are a river, and a river is only healthy when it is moving. Maya returned to her garden with a new heart. She still loved her flowers, but she no longer wept when they faded. She realized that the fallen petals were becoming the soil for next year's blooms. She stopped trying to squeeze the water and started learning how to swim. She found that by letting go of the need for things to stay the same, she gained a sense of control that she never had before. The control of a surfer who doesn't master the wave, but masters her balance upon it. As you go through your week, notice the small changes. The shifting light, the cooling air, the thoughts that move. Do not try to catch them. Do not try to freeze them. Just watch, smile at the passing of things, knowing that every goodbye is the silent precursor to a new hello. You are a work in progress. You are a masterpiece that is being constantly redrawn. Do not fear the eraser. Fear the hand that stops moving. Trust the flow. Trust the seasons. For in the heart of impermanence, you will find the only thing that is truly eternal, the peace of a soul that is finally at home in the middle of the changing tide.